Okay, so Scorpio. Let's get into the cards. It is a pretty tense week. Please do check out your full astrology breakdown. We're going to get into, there's a full moon this week, which is all about releasing and letting go. This is for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, by the way. It is Scorpio week ahead tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I just kind of wanted to get right into it. There is a definite dissonance and a sense of sadness. You're trying to harmonize and avoid being alone. But let me ask you something. Why is being alone the worst thing? You actually may start to see, some of you may start to see this week, that being alone is exactly what you need to get yourself back into balance. So that's the energy we start out with, Scorpio. Holy moly. Let me show you the cards. Hold on. Let me show you the cards. We have music, which is about harmony and rebalance. And there's a sense of, then there's loneliness. We have 26, 28. It seems like we're skipping over by twos, this sense of not feeling an equal participation coming from somebody, a sense of trying to get used to. This is you. I'll tell you this right now. It's like you're trying to get used to or harmonize how lonely and isolated you feel in this partnership. Whether it's business or pleasure, I don't care. But I do care. But it doesn't matter is what I'm saying. You have felt a sense of isolation and you are overcompensating to try to not face it. And maybe, just maybe, being alone is the best thing for you, but that's not what you want. We have something isn't working out. I've got the 7 of Pentacles. This sense of, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Whatever, it seems like whatever you're doing. Let me say this. I'm going to be blunt with you guys because you know I love you. And I'm always going to be straight up with you. You are, the one thing you're not willing to try, the one thing you're not willing to consider is the thing that you know is the truth. And that is, this ain't working out. But you keep coming back at, oh, no, I can make it work here. Oh, no, I can make it work there. Oh, no, I can make it work. I can make it. No, you can't. Shit's dead. It's dead. It's not working. And that's the one, you keep trying to avoid it. You keep trying to avoid that. No matter what I do, I'm ending up putting more in than somebody else, or I'm ending up on my own, or maybe I'm meant to be alone, right? But I don't want to be alone. So I'm going to keep trying all these things that don't work, because the one thing that works is the obvious thing that you are intentionally avoiding seeing, and that is the shit ain't working. And do you know how much happier you'd be if you let go? And do you know that you'd make space for what could work? And that won't happen until you admit this ain't working. We have the Queen of Cups here. So somebody who's very loving, very giving, and unconditional. And the Star card here. So just putting your whole self into what you aspire, what you dream, what you wish for, what you want. Could be this sense of putting yourself unconditionally into specifically an Aquarius or Aquarius energy. But there is a sense of, but I want it so bad. I want it so bad, but something isn't working out. Why isn't it working out? Because you have to let go. Because you have to let go and stop trying so hard. And because the reality is what you're trying to avoid. You don't want to do that, because the reality is you're afraid. You're afraid if I let go. You're afraid if I stop, then I'm not going to get back what I'm going to have to face that I've been running this whole relationship by myself this whole time. I've been running this business by myself the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the connection or the participation that I want to make myself believe I do. And I'm just trying to avoid that at all costs. That's why I'm trying to harmonize the situation. But the irony is, if you didn't try to avoid it and you let yourself see, wow, if I just stop, number one, this person might actually start coming back at you. If you stop hounding and chasing or insisting or overcompensating, right? Doing somebody else's work. There is this fear, I don't want to because I may have to see. You'll have to see that they haven't been doing any of the work. But it was the only thing that's going to encourage them or inspire them to actually start doing any work. Because do they want you to actually let go? Do they want, it doesn't necessarily, no, it doesn't look like it. It could be, in which case, let the trash go. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it go. Free yourself up for what does want to come after you, right? But there is that sense of being more in control in the chase than having somebody come after you or meet you halfway. And yet you're starting to show signs of wear and tear and exhaustion because, yes, this is the pace that you are going to have to keep up if you keep it up. And you're wondering why there's a sense of exhaustion underlying everything. Because, happy birthday, Doug Denny. Yeah, somebody's been thinking about making another choice, about going in another direction. Are you overcompensating? Somebody wants to be released, but in a sense you feel contracted or obligated. This sense of, I want to go. This sense of, I want to go. I want things to be different, but I can't. I'm restricted and held back by promises, obligations, contracts. It could also be somebody you're experiencing that somebody is on the fence right now. Now that you're putting the contract in front of them, now that stuff's going to get real, you start to see them not be sure or not be certain. Believe them. Like, that should tell you everything that you need to know about their level of faith in this situation. Could it just be cold feet? Sure. And we're going to get deeper into that. But I think for a lot of you, it isn't just cold feet. There's the realization of every time I talk to you, you keep looking in another direction. And I've ignored it and tried to have a sense of humor about it. And I've tried to overcompensate by, if you're looking that way, I'll shift myself over here for you. And then when you move, I'll shift myself over here. You're going to get yourself dizzy. You're going to need a Dramamine by the end of this week. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to just give yourself seasickness. Instead of being like, no, this is where I am. Meet me where I am, or I'm leaving. And the sadness inside of you with that realization of, I don't know if they'd come after me. Well, then let the trash be the trash. And let yourself be free. Scorpios really like themselves to be free. What is this devil energy here for? Oh, we've got so much to get into. I'm going to pick a moon card for you guys too. I understand. Your long-term investment toward the future. You think if you hold out or you get somebody contracted in, there will be success in the future. Now, maybe there will be. Hold on. We do have the Magician and the Chariot. So there is that sense of at least feeling, I can make this change. I can make this work. Or there's a sense of family here, deciding to invest in the family. Or somebody is obligating you because of the family. It's like making progress, deciding to make progress, or deciding that it's progress. It's saying, get something in writing this week. Or maybe that's what you're pushing for, to get something in writing this week so that you can have the success that you want to have or lock in. But the Six of Wands is wonky. There is that sense of, I want to get this commitment right now so that I don't get laughed at in the future. The mere fact that you feel like you have to rush. Okay, if this is a personal situation, that's a bad mentality to have. If this is a business situation, you might want it basically is saying you want to lock in this contract this week. Because if you don't, the potential for success starts to fall off. You know, business and pleasure are not the same. So we got to treat them differently. Oh, there's a lot of moon cards here. That means there's a lot of emotion. And considering we do have a full moon that's in a loose square to Pluto, a lot of emotion, a lot of toxicity and emotional crap is going to be brought to the surface when it comes to especially relationships. Because the full moon in Libra. Hold your vision. Okay. So you're halfway there. You don't want to give up when you're halfway there. So there is a sense of hold your vision, but don't let pride get in your way. Don't let pride, in other words, pride is based on the past, the sense of, but I deserve this. Because I've put all this in, I'm going to stick around. That's the stubbornness, right? I'm going to stick around until I get what I deserve because it's owed to me. But you owe it to yourself. They don't. You owe yourself respect and dignity and higher standards. And if you continue to insist on sticking it out because they owe me, there is that sense of losing more than you end up gaining. What do you need to release? It's a question, especially the pride. Hold on to your vision. Don't let pride get in your way. Maybe you're taking a few hits right now, and there's just a sense of communication is key. Let's see what kind of communication is coming in. We have that Gemini energy, which could be two-faced energy, but it's a sense of something's got to be said, words being said, and being very prideful. Okay, what does that mean? That could even mean like promises that you've made. Okay, and sticking to them. Or holding somebody else to a promise. When in reality, there's just this sense of, but I've lost interest. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio, what's the communication that's coming in? It could even be words that were exchanged that you can't let go of. That sense of needing to let go of them. Okay. You found out something recently that really undermined your whole faith in this situation, especially when it comes to Two of Cups. And it changed how you felt about this relationship. You realized it was undermining in some way. And it's got to do with words. Okay, what were the words? What were the words? What was the communication that Scorpio is being asked to release? What is it? Something around the new moon. We have 2 new moons now. But it's a new moon in the past. So it was Aries new moon. Maybe you jumped to conclusions. It's almost like somebody around the new moon jumped to conclusions. They made a promise based on their pride instead of based on what their heart was actually saying or knew was happening. Because intuitively, there was this sense of, intuitively, you understood what the communication meant. But ultimately, there was this push to get something out of it that I don't think wanted to come out of it. What does this mean? What does this mean for Scorpios moving forward? 7 of Swords is definite. What does this mean? Hangman. Now you feel stuck. It's almost like you promised something too quickly. Or signed over. Maybe it was you signing into a contract too quickly just because you wanted to push things along. And now you're like, oh no, how could I do that? Because now you're starting to realize I may want to change things because things were not as they seemed. I got to get clarifiers. What is not what it seemed? There's always an extended, guys. I hope you will come over with me. If you're watching this on TV, grab your phone so that you can click on the links. The links work on mobile and desktop and laptop YouTube. What is it? What is this betrayal? Defeat. It's almost like something was already over, but you didn't want to see it. You let me know in the comments below. Let's all, and now there's clarity, okay? Let's go to the extended, because we just have an Ace of Swords on the play, and I want to see, is this finally realizing and accepting and clearly knowing which direction to go? Or is this something, somebody was stealing something from you and you lost because of it, but now there's triumph and victory over it? This is something to dig into. I'll see you guys in the extended.